All right, y'all. Thank you for joining myself and my good buddy Dan Rivera here on the 8th episode of Good News Southern Gospel.
You're keeping track of that, aren't you?
I am.
Good job.
So I'm excited about this. Yeah, this is really good. 8th episode. We got a huge show planned for you. We're going to have Jason Runnels coming up a little bit later, a review segment about BFA's new CD and our top 3 favorite songwriters. But first,
if you don't know who BFA is, that's Brian Free Insurance. But go ahead.
Yes, well, I speak in
I get you.
abbreviations. Okay,
go ahead.
Our news segment. Okay, first guy is somebody that we have not mentioned on this show to date.
I know.
Ivan
we are
Parker.
working on an interview with him.
Yes,
so.
which we're hoping to get.
Praise
because Ivan
Call
Parker.
me Ivan.
Yeah, if you're watching this, please. Ivan Parker joins the Difference Media family of artists.
Which is really cool because that's like Canton Junction, the Haggies, obviously from that church, Cornerstone.
Aaron and Amanda Crabb.
Yeah. So
all those good people.
Obviously it's great. His debut with Difference Media, produced by Gary Jones, is slated for a July release, which is awesome.
That will be awesome, so be sure to check that out. Ivan Parker is a huge solo artist. If you don't know who Ivan Parker is, definitely check out his music.
Remember him from Gold City and whatnot.
Right. His signature song, Midnight Cry, of course, he also has huge #1 hits like I Choose, Hit the Ground Running, songs like that. So definitely want to check out his music, ivanparker.com.
Yep, check out his website.
His website.
Thank you so much for that, Ivan Parker. We are so excited about that. Next, Tally's released brand new concept film, and I just saw this.
Did you watch it?
Did you watch it?
I've not seen it. I've heard the song. The song is great. It features their latest single, "The People in the Line."
Yes.
Off of their After All This Time CD, which is really good.
So good. It's very good. You have to go watch this music video, concept video, and it is phenomenal. It is called The People in the Line, like you just said. And so go check that out on YouTube. And also check out their website at thetallys.com. Great music video. Phenomenal job, y'all.
Good deal. Troy Burns.
Who,
by the way, we have an interview coming up in May with Troy Burns.
I think the first week of May.
Be looking for that. But their family has some changes.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this for a little
bit. Troy sings with his family. I mean, he sings with his wife. It's a trio. And they just hired Shane Mathis as their new baritone. And so excited about that. Troy, if you don't know who Troy Burns is, Troy is a former singer of The Inspirations.
Right, yeah.
And phenomenal job. Also currently sings with Archie Watkins and Smoky Mountain Reunion.
Oh, good deal. I didn't know about that. But
so kind of like a Inspirations reunion type group.
Cool.
What they do. So awesome. Welcome, Shane, to the group. I watch your posts and everything on Facebook and think you're going to do a great job with that. So congratulations on that.
And you can check out their music at... I love how they make their website so easy. It's like the Tallies is thetallys.com. This is literally TroyBurnsFamily.com. So
yes,
when in doubt, just try
their name.
Yep. Yeah.
Or just Google. Google fixes everything.
That's right.
TroyBurnsFamily.com right here. So check them out and go check out their music and check out Shane.
And then happening literally right now.
Literally right now.
So after you watch this video, don't go right now. But after you watch this video, go to the Singing in the Sun event in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah,
so if you are around there, it's going on right now up until April 23rd. So you definitely got to check this out. They have literally everybody.
Yeah, it's literally like a mini NQC. And which is funny because they are having the NQC spring break.
Yeah.
But, this is literally like another NQC spring break, but bigger. Literally every group.
Huge, man.
We got Brian Free Insurance, Booth Brothers, Tallies, Ivan Parker, Irwin's, Taylor's, literally every group, Triumphant,
Tribute Quartet,
Gold City.
Yeah.
Every group
the
that you think of, is there.
The Hoppers.
So go check them out right now.
Keep them in groups. They're probably there.
If you're near Myrtle Beach or you're a couple hours away, go get tickets.
It's
just walk in.
Yeah.
Go get tickets, and it's a huge event, and it's 5 days. Obviously we just passed yesterday, which was Monday, so you can't go yesterday. But you can go today, and you can go the rest of this week. So check them out until the 23rd this week. So super excited about that. That is it for our news today.
Yeah.
And if you want to know any more about our previous news, go to our previous videos. Check out our previous videos. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel at Good News Southern Gospel. And that is it for the news today. All right, everybody, it's for the segment that I hate the most. Top 3 segment. I'm just kidding. I like this segment. It's just so hard to come up with top 3, because then I get crucified.
I like this segment because I like being controversial. I like making people mad. In fact, I'm going to pick somebody today just out of random because you're going to be like, what? You can't pick that person.
Daniel Rivera.
Yes. He's my favorite. We're doing top 3 favorite songwriters.
Top 3.
Y'all.
Okay.
So this is huge.
Okay. Your top 3.
Because there is a bunch of them. Okay, my number 3, and I am leaving somebody out that people are probably going to be really mad about, but that's okay. That's okay. Because like I said, I don't care.
Okay.
Number 3. All right. My third one is Dianne Wilkinson.
Oh, come on, man.
Did I steal yours?
I'm switching spots.
No, okay. So third, Dianne Wilkinson. Okay, case in point, basically any Kingdom Air song. Boom.
That's true, but I mean, like every other Southern Gospel group.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. I mean, Cathedrals. I mean, Tribute Quartet.
Legacy 5 even.
Legacy 5.
Back in there.
Literally, no, she's written songs for every group. I'm serious.
No, I know.
So it's phenomenal. But what were you saying?
She is, but just the where I had to just include her is I'm thinking back like, okay, what songs do I really like and who wrote those songs? And I'm thinking like, man, Kingdom Air CDs are stacked. And when you go back and you look at who wrote those songs, many of them are Dianne Wilkinson songs. She is amazing. And like you said, she writes basically, and it's hard to find a Southern Gospel CD. You turn it over and look at who wrote the songs. It's hard to find one that does not have a Dianne Wilkinson song on it.
Absolutely, and she's amazing. And to this day, I want to ask her, Dianne. I want to ask you literally how many songs have you written? Because I know it's almost near thousands. You know, at least
she is like the modern day Fanny Crosby.
Literally. And that's a huge compliment. And she's amazing. I love you, Dianne. We love you. And
she's the bomb. Seriously, I love her.
You are your top 3.
All right, so you're number 3. Go.
My number 3 is Rodney Griffin.
Okay, cool.
So
we're not going to leave him out because he did not make mine. I'm sorry, Rodney. I'm sorry.
And the reason why he didn't make yours is because he gets Songwriter of the Year, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. I want to give some love to other people that never get it and probably deserve it. So.
Controversial.
Yes.
No,
but I love his songs, though. Look at, going back a few years, A Pile of Crowns, Faces. I mean, come on. He's a great songwriter.
So,
honestly, I'm some kidding aside. He's got to be my number 4.
Oh, yeah.
We only get 3, and so I've got to pick my 3.
I wish we did, like, top 25, because then I'd have all my lists, like, in order.
But then we'd have, like, an 15-hour show.
Yeah.
And y'all would hate us.
So that wouldn't work.
So,
okay.
All right, number 2. Wait, you want to say anything else about Rodney?
No, great. No, yeah, I know you talked about him the whole time. No, my favorite, or one of my favorite songwriters.
He really is.
Love,
He's good.
Love all of his songs. I mean, just like the ones you mentioned, Faces, you know, just the famous songs.
Yeah.
You know, the Great Original Singing, still writing songs to this day and still getting Songwriter of the Year almost every year. I mean, just phenomenal guy.
And he deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really does.
Absolutely.
So very prolific songwriter.
My number 3, Rodney.
My number 2 is, again, love this guy. I think he doesn't get enough credit for this. Jim Brady. Just as an example, Truth is Marching On. So Jim Brady is a phenomenal songwriter. Wrote a lot of songs for the Booth Brothers in the past. And now with his group, Jim Brady Trio. So Jim Brady, my number 2.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Okay, so I mean, I'm done. My number 2, we just talked about her, Dianne Wilkinson, one of my favorite songwriters, and so she's my number 2. Obviously, we can't really say much more because we already talked about her.
Yeah, we already talked about her a lot. So well done,
You're
Dianne.
number 1.
You made both of our lists. Good job. My number 1. Again, I feel like this guy is so underappreciated.
I know who it is.
I know you do. And so if you don't know this guy's songs, I think, personally, he is the best songwriter in the business, and that is Daniel Rivera. No, I'm kidding. Joseph Habedank. He just came out with his
here's the thing. Nobody's even sang my songs, then I just got to stop number 1.
He's a good songwriter, though. Seriously, don't let him fool you. Joseph Habedank is amazing. He's written many of the Perry's songs, and then he recorded a whole CD of all original songs that he either wrote himself or co-wrote with other songwriters. and it's amazing. So if you're not familiar with Joseph Habedank's stuff, in fact, right now we're going to play a clip of his most recent rated. In fact, this was nominated for #1 song, and it is his brand new song, "Never No Never." It is amazing.
Love this song. Check it out.
But in the eyes of heaven, something else was going on. They may have been all by themselves, but they were never alone. I've never, no, never seen the righteous forsake. I've seen them with tears in their eyes, seen them with their hearts breaking. I've seen them tested and tried, seen them with their faith shaking. But I've never, no, never seen the righteous forsaken. I've seen them with tears in their eyes, seen them with their hearts breaking. I've seen them tested, seen them try, seen them with their face shaking. But I've never, no, never, I've never, no, never, no, I've never, no, never seen the righteous forsaken.
So that was Joseph Habedank doing "Never No Never." Phenomenal guy, great songwriter, great singer.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
Gonna have him on the show soon.
I love him.
Phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
My #1, kind of out of left field, Ricky Free.
He is a great songwriter.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Good
an awesome
pick.
songwriter, and he writes a lot of songs for mostly his dad's group, Brian Free and Assurance, which we're going to talk about. But phenomenal songwriter, wrote big songs like "I Want to Be That Man." Almost every song now on Brian Free and Assurance.
Yeah, he writes a lot of their stuff.
You know,
yeah,
he probably writes about 50% of their material on the past like 3 or 4 CDs now.
Yeah.
So Ricky Free, my #1, great songwriter, great choices today.
Yeah.
So
are we gonna play a clip of his song?
Yes, we are. So let's just play. Obviously, he's not singing, but let's play "I Want to Be That Man." A clip of "I Want to Be That Man." This is one of Ricky's songs. Check it out.
So I'll take up my cross and trace the steps. Surrendering is how I'll serve Him best. I wanna be that man who loves the Lord with all his heart, just like the word commands. Who takes a stand and leaves his family as he holds the Father's hand. I wanna be that man, just like Peter, Paul, and all the saints of days gone by. Let me show the kind of faith to those who come behind. I wanna be that man who loves the Lord with all his heart, just like the word commands. Who takes a stand.
Okay, so that was, again, Brian Free and Assurance's #1 song, "I Want to Be That Man," written by Ricky Free, Daniel's #1 artist. Daniel's making faces over here. Great choices today. If
Great.
we did not include your favorite songwriter, let us know about it. We want to hear from you.
Which we probably did. But if we didn't, put it in the comments section below.
That's it for our top 3 segment. We're going to do our review segment up next.
Yay! Okay, up next. All right, everybody, it is now time for the CD review segment. Today we are reviewing Brian Free Assurance's brand new CD, Live Like We're Redeemed.
Yeah. Brand new, just came out a month or so ago.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And it's a very good CD.
It is.
The thing about this is it's the first CD back as a trio in a long time.
Yeah, I want to talk about this for just a second, and then we'll get into talking about some of the songs. If this is, I'm going to put it like this. If this is your introduction to Brian Free Assurance as an artist, you are going to love this CD.
Yeah.
It's a solid project.
Great CD.
If you've been following, as we have, Brian Free Assurance for some time, and you're probably going to feel a little bit reluctant about it because it's missing their bass singer, Jeremy Lyle, which we all know and love. And the thing is, though, they have to do their first CD as a trio at some point, and the best way to do this is kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid. You just got to just do it.
Just do it.
And when you just do it and you jump into it, like, okay, you know what? Just accept it for what it is, and then you just really begin to listen to the songs. Again, you'll realize it really is a solid recording. It's a solid project.
It really is. My other thing is if you're also a fan, you've also been a fan of Brian Free Assurance like we have. My only other thing I would say is it's a little, and this is a little constructive criticism, but it's a little bit of the same that we've been hearing for the past 4 or 5 years.
Which some people really like. And like,
which is a good thing, but like on some levels, like we just talked about Ricky Free and songwriters. I don't know how many songs he wrote on this, but at some levels, a lot of the songs now are sounding a lot of the same, like some of the other songs from past recordings.
I get you.
So that would be my only dilemma with the CD, but there are some songs on here that I love.
We found ourselves, and again, a little bit, you and I were listening to it in preparation for this review, we found ourselves wishing for, not that there's anything wrong with the style of the songs that's on there, but we found ourselves wishing for, like from The Biggest Step,
that type of song.
A few CDs back, kind of that Preaching to the Choir from Worth It, that little bit edgier, harder, I don't know, because a lot of the songs end up feeling like mid-tempo to slow on the CD, which is okay, and they're powerful songs. The message of the songs is great, which Brian Free Assurance, kudos to them, because they always put out powerful songs. Absolutely. And so, but we did find ourselves looking for that kind of, and You Could Be the Difference comes in at number 9 on the track list as the fastest song in the CD. So maybe it has something to do with just the CD order. Maybe it would have been better to move that one up a little bit just to break up the flow of the CD.
And that was another thing about the CD is just there's a lot of slow songs on there. So when I listen to songs, especially if I'm in a more tired mood, you know, and I'm waiting for that fast track, you don't get that right away.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But otherwise, the songs are very powerful. They got great messages. Great. So let's talk about some of the songs. It's got Somebody's Miracle. Great song. That's Just What Grace Does.
Which is their first radio single.
And it's
a great song.
One that we were talking about, and a phenomenal song about grace. You know, similar message to That's What Grace Is For, as far as the message goes.
Yeah.
Not
totally different style.
Yeah, totally different style.
But same message.
Same message. Measure of a Man. It's a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah, and it's a unique, one of the more unique. It's got that kind of like at the end of the chorus there,
yeah.
Part, you know, which it sounds totally different than that, but it's just
it don't sound like that at all.
Don't judge the CD off my, you know. But yeah, no, it's a good song.
Live Like We're Redeemed, which is the title track of the CD.
Yeah.
Obviously going to be a future single. Great song.
He Will Carry You is one of my favorites off this CD.
Very
it
good
is
CD.
Powerful. It is a great song. He Will Carry You, definitely one to watch for sure.
Mission of Mercy. Great song. I like Mission of Mercy a lot.
It's a good song.
So I think it's one of the first songs in the CD, right?
It's number 6.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
So it's like in the middle of the CD. So totally wrong. This next one, I want to play the clip of this song, When Mercy Looks at Me. One of my favorite songs on the CD. Probably my favorite song on the whole CD.
Cool.
Just phenomenal message, but just it's an incredible song. The whole CD, I didn't want you guys to get confused on our review of it. There was some criticism and whatnot, but the whole CD is a great CD, so definitely get it.
Right.
But I want you to listen to this song. It was one of those heart grabbers. And check this song out, When Mercy Looks at Me, from Brian Free and Assurance's new album, Live Like We're Redeemed.
Walking from the shadows of the night, and breaking like the sun with morning's light. I see love when I look in his eyes. I see hope with arms open wide. Though I am guilty, it's only grace he sees when mercy looks at me. Yeah. A priceless ransom I'm unworthy of. Yet standing here, covered by the blood, I see love when I look in his eyes. I see hope with arms open wide. Though I am guilty, it's only grace he sees when mercy looks at me.
Phenomenal song.
Yeah.
When Mercy Looks at Me, just great message. I could listen to it. That's one of the songs that I could probably listen to it over and over and over and over.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Forever Home. So,
Forever Home.
The next song on the CD. Of course, you can see the track listing up here. It's been up there for like the whole time. But anyway, it's really good. You Could Be the Difference.
this
Again.
is the order. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. That's how you knew it was number 6. That makes sense.
Dan is tired today.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, You Could Be the Difference comes in at number 9 on the CD. I really like the style of this. And like I said, I would have probably preferred it be like a number 3 or 4 in the track listing, just because at that point you're kind of looking for that next, upbeat song. Yeah. And they chose to put in like The Measure of a Man, which is a little bit upbeat. I would have put this one up. What do I know?
Yes.
I've never produced a CD before, but it's a great song. You Could Be the Difference, really good. And then 1 Mile World is a really unique
style.
It's unique message. Features Brian Free, closes out the CD at number 10. Of course, if you're not familiar with the group, Brian Free, of course, has been their tenor for like ever because he's the founder of the group. So that's kind of how that works.
Bill Shivers, which has been their lead for a very long time.
Both of our favorite current leads.
And then Mike Rogers, great guy.
Yeah.
Is their baritone, and this is his second CD with them. And what I really like about this CD is you actually hear a lot of Mike.
Yeah.
He's featured on a lot of the songs. I would bet to say that he may be featured a little bit more than Bill. I don't know. It may be just about the same. A lot of the times I can't really tell the voice. That's how good Mike is.
Their blend is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very good.
So
definitely a great CD. What I want to start doing now, which we're going to do right now, is I want to do a rating of the CD.
Yes, I thought about that.
Between
we think alike.
Between 1 through 10. My rating would be 7.5 on the CD as a whole. I think there were some ups and downs in it, like we talked about earlier. And overall a great CD.
Why don't we do this too, if you can? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay. What is your high point and your low point for the CD?
High point would be still great message and songs, which is the most important part. So as long as your message is right, you're doing something right. My negative would be, or the downs, I would say, is like I mentioned earlier, the repetitiveness of the sounding of the songs, and then a lot of slow songs, which will make people turn off CDs. Not with necessarily Brian Free, but it does make other people do it with other CDs.
Sure.
So, and then was there another one I said? Not having a bass.
Yeah. Well, sure.
Anyway,
I'm gonna rate this one. I'm gonna say an 8. I think it's. So just in comparison, right? I mean, you're talking about like an 8 out of 10, okay? it's a premium product.
Absolutely.
If you could say that about a CD. Mm-hmm. I think the high point of it is that if you're a Brian Free Insurance fan, it's probably because you like their style, which is very different from basically anything that anybody else is doing. And so I love that. I'm glad they didn't try to reinvent the wheel with this. I think the low point would be that, sometimes you feel like there's a little bit of a monotony in the style of the music. And I probably would have. I think that could be fixed with just a reordering of the songs. That's me personally.
Probably.
So, but overall, I think it is something that you need to check out and give your opinion to. Brian Free Insurance always puts out great stuff, so definitely check it out.
Absolutely. So thank you guys. Great CD, phenomenal. Looking forward to seeing you soon. And that is it for our CD review segment. Coming up, an interview with Jason Runnels, former singer of Tony Gore and Majesty, former singer of Down East Boys, and current singer, solo singer, also singing with his family a little. So check it out. All right, everybody, we're here at Good News Southern Gospel, and we have on the phone Jason Runnels. Jason, how are you doing today?
Hey, Daniel, I'm great, buddy. I hope you guys are doing well.
We're doing great, great. I have myself, Daniel Rivera, and Stephen McJunkins, my co-host here. We're excited to have you on the phone today. I was first introduced to you, Jason, when you sang with the Down East Boys probably about 6 years ago, I would say. I saw you at the Blueberry Festival in Plymouth, Indiana, which I'm from Northwest Indiana, so around where I'm from. And I got to see it. I loved your tenor voice. Talk about, kind of how you got started in Southern Gospel and what's going on in your life currently.
Okay. Well, mine goes all the way back to my childhood, Daniel. I'll be honest with you, when I got started, because my dad has sung in either a quartet or a trio my entire life. So I grew up around the music and around, he and my mom would always take us down to the city auditorium to all the gospel singings and stuff, as a kid, I was a drug addict. Most kids were drugged to church. I was drugged from singing to singing. We grew up in a singing family, and so not long after I got married in 1992, I started a group with the Blackwood Brothers bass singer, Butch Owens.
Yeah. Wow.
And cool. His son Ian, who sings with Sold Out, used to sing with my dad. That's where he got his bass start.
That's awesome.
My dad's vocal group. So it's kind of been it's kind of been cool to kind of watch his career and Butch as they've taken off as well. But but for me, we after singing with the Watchman Quartet, which is what our local name was, I started with a regional group called Emerald City Quartet.
Okay.
They were out of North Mississippi. I was with them for 3 years, and that's when we started singing on a lot of programs, and we got to sing with Ed O'Neill and his group, and with some of the Inspirations, and we sang with a lot of different full-time groups, and people had begun to hear me sing, and so when I started really feeling like the Emerald City wasn't going to go full-time because the other guys had jobs, obviously, and so I just started putting the word out, man, I really would love to sing full-time. I just believe it's something I'm called to do. And so I talked to Ed O'Neill and several different guys in the industry, and they began to put the word out. And then I got a phone call from Ed, and he said, "Hey man, you need to call Tony Gore. He's looking for a tenor singer."
Wow.
And so then what I didn't know was Tony was actually singing with the Inspirations on the night that I got the word that he was looking for a tenor. He got the word that I was available and looking for a job through Mike Holcomb with the Inspirations.
Wow.
And so Mike called me the next day and said, "Hey man, Tony last night, he's looking for a tenor." And I said, "Well, it's kind of ironic. I was just told to call him, but I don't know how to get in touch with you." And he said, "Well, here's his number."
That's cool.
And so I called Tony, and in just a matter of a few days, I had a time set up to go over. I tried out. he liked what he heard with me and him and Daniel Riley. Daniel was still singing baritone at the time. And that's where it all started for me. I started with Tony, and I was with Tony for 5 years. And then when Tony decided to disband the group and go solo and open up his restaurant and kitchen board, I kind of floated around for a month or so, kind of looking, a couple months actually. I sung with the Blackwoods a few weekends. Mark Blackwood and his group for a couple weekends. I sung with a group out of Ohio for a couple weekends, and then I traveled with the Singing News magazine with Danny Jones.
Oh, awesome!
While I was looking for something, and during that time, I found out that Ricky was in the process of looking for a tenor singer, and so Ricky had called Danny, and Danny told me, he said, "Well, it's kind of ironic. I got a young man right here that can do the job." You know, so he put me on the phone with Ricky. I talked to him for a few minutes. The next weekend, I tried out with them, and Ricky gave me the job on the spot. And the rest is history. I mean, I spent 10 years there with the guys. We really made some huge strides while I was there. You know, not only in our music, but in the booking and stuff like that, I was able to help him with. So, you know, God began to open up doors, and he began to put me in front of a lot of people that I didn't know it at the time, but now are invaluable to my ministry, because after 10 years, I felt like God was leading me off the road to become a dad and a husband again full time, because, I mean, I was traveling 200 plus days a year, you know? And, I mean, it's just what you do. And my boys were all growing up. I had 3 boys.
Wow.
And they were all growing up to the point where they were fixing to start making life decisions. So I came off the road. After about, I guess it's been a couple of years, we felt like something just wasn't right, and that there was more to what God had in store for us than what we were doing. And so my wife and I began to pray, and God began to move and open up doors for us to start ministering as a family on our own. My boys got kind of involved, one running sound for me, one singing with me a little bit, and then so we started Jason Runnels Ministries. We launched that in 2013. And then in 2014 of May, we felt like God was calling us full time, and so we sold everything we owned. I mean, everything. House. I mean, all of our possessions, everything. I mean, literally, if it wouldn't fit on that motorhome, we'd keep it, you know. And we bought a motorhome. We hit the road, and hey, man, we have now covered 57,000 miles in a year and 11 months.
Wow.
And we've been all the way out the West Coast. We've been up into Canada. We have been in 32 different states and all over Canada, and we have seen, as of this past weekend, the people that got saved, we've seen 312 people come to know Christ through our ministry.
Amen. That's what it's about.
Yes, it is.
So God is really working, man. He is using the music, and doors are opening like crazy for me. I just got I was approached by a booking agent, Marcy Gray with Gray Dove Agency. Has picked me up. She is now doing some of my booking. I'm still doing a lot of it, but she does have my calendar as well. She's trying to help me fill in dates and stuff. She's got the Fabric Quartet. She's got the Gold City right now.
Well, Marcy's actually the reason why we got this interview, and she is the sweetest lady in the world, literally. We actually called Marcy and to get Tim Riley and the other guys for interviews and whatnot, and then she mentioned your name, so I just said, well, I know Jason. Why don't I just message him on Facebook or have our booking agent just contact you. So that's kind of how we got that through Marcy. Yeah. She's a great lady, and I'm glad that you got hooked up with her.
She's doing a super job for me right now. She's working on a California trip for me. We lack about between what dates she's going to book in California and the dates that I have left to book. I think I've got 18 dates left for the entire year to book. So God is just, it's just been amazing.
That's awesome.
I was approached here not long ago by Chapel Valley, and I have been picked up by Chapel Valley now. They
That's
just
amazing.
sent out my first
Good
single.
deal.
They sent my first single out to radio. Within 3 weeks of release, it came in at number 86 on the top 100 songs. So When God Unfolds the Rose is a song I have out. And I'm telling you, Daniel, God just, He is, it's just amazing to watch Him work. I'm recording my very first main line. Up until now, I've been leasing tracks and doing things like that, and doing a lot of cover stuff. I've done a few originals that I've written or something like that, but for the most part, it's all been cover stuff. Well, I have a new album that will be out. I'm not sure the release date yet, but I'm still working on collecting the last few songs that I have. But the album's going to be titled Jason Runnels, Living in the Shelter of Grace. Jeff Steele wrote a song for me called Shelter of Grace. It's just a powerful song. I cannot wait for this new album. I cannot wait, man. So, there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. I have one son in college. I have one that just, I don't know if y'all have been getting my tweets and all my Facebook stuff, but my middle son, Hunter, just joined the military this week. He swore in on Tuesday to join the Army. So, our ministry is changing because now my sound guy's coming off the road, and he's fixing to go to boot camp and all of that. He's going to be with me. We're heading out west. We get his commander gave him a permission slip, so to speak. They're excusing him from some stuff until we get back in August. We're leaving in just about 4 or 5 weeks, headed out to the West Coast again, back to August. And when we get back, he'll be leaving and going to boot camp. So, it's a sad time for our family because all the kids are growing up and leaving us, but it's also good to see God working through them. My son Tristan is a singer and an actor. He's in Emerson College in Boston, and he's got his own radio show now. God just opened the door after door for him.
That's awesome.
My youngest son Brady is starting to sing more and more with me. And he and Teresa are going to come off the road some starting in August. He's got some specialized, we homeschool all our kids, and so, he's going to be coming off the road to be doing some of that, he and Teresa, and they'll go as much as they can, but it won't be like they have been until he can get, through his last couple of years of high school. It is what it is. You change with life. The ministry changes. It has to change just like everything else, with life. But as long as God continues to work and we continue to see people saved and things keep going the way they are, we're just really focused and we're excited about the future of our ministry and what God's going to do.
Well,
yeah, definitely.
Jason, we appreciate your ministry, especially here, and we love what you're doing. We've always loved your voice, especially from the past groups. I always thought it was funny. I think I mentioned it to you. I said, "Man, me and you have a lot in common because Tony Jarman stole both of our jobs." So no, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Tony didn't steal mine, but I gave it to him.
Oh man, no, Tony's a great friend.
Tony's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
I was fortunate when Tony came on board after I left the Down East Boys, or when I was leaving the Down East Boys. Ricky, I gave Ricky 6 months notice.
Yeah. Wow.
To do what we do is it's hard anyway. And to find somebody that can fit that mold and that voice and all, that's hard. To find any singers, but especially tenor singers.
Yeah,
so when
absolutely.
I turned my notice in, Ricky said, "Well, when you got to be done?" I think he was thinking me to stay in a couple, 3 weeks. And I said, "Well, I turned it in August." And I said, "Well, how's April?" I said, "I'd like to be done in time to spend Easter with my family this year." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He said, "We should be able to find somebody by then."
Yeah.
So we began to look. We didn't really put it out at first. That we were looking, we just kind of did it under the table because we didn't want any drastic changes or anything. But I wanted to leave before Ricky got into new pictures and new album and all that. So when Tony came on board, we actually, he asked me, he said, man, would you be willing to go on this next trip? He said, it's a 2-week thing, but, I think you could really benefit Tony by going. I said, absolutely. So I actually was able to go, and for 2 weeks, Tony would come up and sing a couple songs the second half for the first week, and he would just kind of watch what I was doing and what we were doing on stage and everything. And the second week, he began to do a little more in the second half, and then he got to where he's doing the entire second half. And then by the end of the next time, he was doing it all, and I just kind of stepped back and actually just watched. And funny story, Ricky got sick the very last weekend, the very last night we were supposed to sing. Ricky lost his voice, and I wound up singing lead that night.
Wow. You know what? It's so funny. It's so funny that you say that.
You guys have more in common than you think.
Yeah, we have more in common than you think.
Oh, that's so funny.
Tony's a great guy. Steven and I here actually just did the artwork on their new CD for the Woodsman. So we're great friends. But it's funny because the last concert that I did with the Woodsman, our lead singer, Jim, got sick and couldn't go. So guess I moved to lead. And Tony's singing tenor, so literally exact same thing for the whole weekend. So that's kind of funny that happened to you guys and that happened to us. Yeah, Tony's a great guy. I'm glad everything worked out. But anyway, we're gonna get in the questions now, Jason, and we're gonna wrap it up here. From the fans. Go ahead, Steven. You haven't really talked.
So we got. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. I'll just let y'all talk. That's okay. Then we got about 5 minutes left, so we're gonna get some of these questions answered from some people that want to know some stuff about you. Roy wanted to know what the biggest difference is, compared to singing in other countries, compared to singing in the U.S. What's that like?
Well, the biggest difference is the crowds. When you're overseas, honestly, they don't get what we get over here. We're saturated with gospel music, Christian music. Well, over there they're not. So anytime you're overseas and you have a concert, normally there's a huge crowd. Normally the crowds are just a lot bigger because they just don't get it like we do. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, and obviously it's got to be ethnicities and everything are always a factor. Katie wanted to know where, and obviously I probably know the answer to this. It's kind of a simple question. Where do you get your inspiration in your songwriting?
Usually the inspiration comes from circumstances in life a lot of times. Maybe something I'm reading, maybe something I run across in a Bible, a devotion. You hear a line or something that just kind of, oh man, that would be kind of cool in a song. And I do that. A lot of life experience. Yeah. When I write, like the song that I wrote, When the Master Walks By, the first verse is straight out of the Word about what happened when Jesus walked by the blind man and just a small piece of clay, he touched the blind man and said, well, then the second verse goes into my life and how I was deep in sin, nobody cared about me, but then when the Master walks by, my life changed. It's that type thing.
Yeah. Amen. Awesome.
So there's a lot of life experience, but also a lot of things that you read, you hear, play into that as well.
Well, that's good. Wow.
Yeah. John wants to know, you talked a little bit about this, but what's it like traveling with your family?
Great. I honestly figured I would be ready to kill them after about 6 months, But honestly, you learn to depend on each other.
Sure.
You learn to depend on it. Like my wife, she handles all the business side of our ministry. I never have to fool with that. When the pastors bring us the money, I just hand it to her. She pays the bill. She makes everything run smoothly as far as the financial side of it, the business side, so that I don't have to concentrate on that and I can concentrate on the ministry.
Amen.
That is huge, guys. I mean, that is huge to have that right arm that's there to support me and so that I can concentrate. The boys, as far as they're concerned, everybody has their role. My youngest son handles the product table. My middle son handles the sound. I do all the driving, the singing. Periodically, Hunter will jump under the wheel and drive a little bit for me. But it's just huge having everybody have their part. We know our roles, and to be able to go to bed with my wife and kids and then wake up and they're there every single day. I mean, I love it. I really do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we all know how important it is to have your family and your wife involved in the ministry, because your wife is your ministry, So that's awesome, Jason. We appreciate that. The last question, Ashley asked a question. What do you think is the biggest challenge to doing solo work?
Booking dates.
So true.
I mean, honestly,
so true.
For some reason or another, people have it in their mind that people won't enjoy. They don't like soloists. Well, it's not people. A lot of times, it's the music guy or the pastor or whoever that doesn't like soloists. They prefer groups.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's just like people saying, "Well, our church doesn't do contemporary." Well, is it your church don't like contemporary? Or is it you don't like contemporary? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I mean, Southern gospel, not contemporary. Our church is all contemporary. Or vice versa. Either way, it's the same thing with booking dates. As a soloist, it's hard just because people want to hear, or people will tell you, well, there are other people want to hear groups. They like the harmony. They like, but I mean, if you listen to my music, there's more to it than just a soloist. Number one, I do all different styles. I'm not tied to one style. I mix in old songs, I mix in contemporary songs, I mix in Southern gospel, country gospel. I try to do a mixture of everything so that it's a blended service for my people that are there. But honestly, when people get me to come, it's not about anything other than getting to the end so that I can give an altar call and give somebody a chance to be saved, because that's what I'm called to do.
Absolutely.
But that's the challenge, though, and I can't even imagine, even female soloists are even harder to book, from what I understand. But that's the challenge is just finding churches that will give you the opportunity to come in and then put forth the effort to bring people in so that you can sing and minister and change people's lives through the message.
Yeah, amen, and that's so true.
Yeah.
So, Jason, we're going to play a clip real quick before we let you go of you singing solo. So we're going to go ahead and play that real quick. That way y'all can get a taste of what Jason Runnels and his family sounds like. So check this out.
700 things on my mind, but I see a visions of that crystal clear river where sin's forgotten without a trace. And more than I've ever dreamed, my eyes are longing to see that look of love on my Savior's face. I wanna know how it feels, to make my way down the streets of gold. I wanna know how it feels to have a talk with the saints of old. I wanna know what it's like to rest my feet by the river of life. I've heard of heaven and I know that it's real. I wanna know how it feels to make my way down the streets of gold. I wanna know how it feels to have a talk with the saints of old.
All right, so that was just a little bit of giving you just a taste of Jason and his voice. And man, what a talent! And it's been just a pleasure having you on the show today, Jason. If you could just let us know where, if the fans want to check out your music, where can they go? What's your website? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can get my music a lot of places. I'm available on iTunes. I'm available on Amazon. They can hear me and stream me on iHeartRadio, on the Google Play, on Spotify. So they can get to me several different ways there. Also, they can purchase my music from my website. I do have a website. It's www.jasonrunnels, and my last name is spelled JasonRunnels Ministries, that's plural. JasonRunnelsMinistries.com is my website.
Cool.
They can go online to, if they want to book me, they can go online to Grade of Ministries or Grade of Agency, and Marcy, her information is online. Also, they can call me personally. My number is 336-263-8266. 336-263-8266. I'm on all the social media stuff. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on, what else am I on? Facebook. So, they can find me. Just my name, Jason Runnels.
Everywhere.
I also have Jason Runnels Ministries fan page. So
That's awesome. Well,
yeah, lots of ways to catch me, man.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good thing. We love technology nowadays, especially for those reasons. Jason, thank you so much for being on the show today. We really appreciate it, and hope to talk to you again soon, okay?
Hey, Daniel, thank you guys for having me, man. I'm so honored that you would even consider to put me on your show and all. And I just want to encourage people to support you guys financially, and support you guys in listening and sharing your station with other people, because that's how we all grow. And I just appreciate you and Stephen and all your hard work. And man, y'all take care. And I look forward to seeing you maybe at a concert soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right, Jason, thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and that was our interview with Jason Runnels. That was a phenomenal interview.
Yeah, he's a great
Love
guy.
Jason. Thank you so much, Jason, for that. And that is it today for Good News Southern Gospel. But real quick before we end the show, we got some exciting news.
I'm about to burst with excitement, because this is huge for us.
This is really big for us.
So we've got 2 interviews next week. So we're probably going to do what we did this past week, which is split it up into 2 segments. But the first interview we have, I really like this guy, Brad Strider of Mercy's Well.
Phenomenal guy, like David Phelps lookalike. So we have our first interview with Brad Strider. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Our second interview, which I'm very excited about.
Groundbreaking. Drum roll. Seriously, y'all, drum roll. You have to.
Ernie Haas.
Boom!
Ernie Haas's signature sound will be our guest next week.
Special guest, yes.
So we are so excited. Both phone interviews, but very excited about talking to both of them. And also got some exciting news in interviews to come, which we will announce that as weeks go by.
So definitely stay tuned, or you're going to miss it.
We are literally booked till June, y'all. So thank you so much to our booking coordinator, Nick. Phenomenal job. Phenomenal guy. Thank you so much. You're the man, Nick. So stay tuned for next week's interview with Ernie Haas, his signature sound. My name is Daniel Rivera. This is Stephen McJunkins. And thank you so much for joining us
this week.
Good News. You can do it.
Southern Gospel.
He is about to break, and blessed are the feet that take the truth. Good news. I'm slipping on